From the jungles of South America, is this an unknown ape? In the forests of the Congo, how huge was this snake which rose up and menaced a helicopter? In Mozambique, could this be an unknown species of big cat? In the Pacific, did this man see the legendary dragon of New Guinea? Did the mammoth and the supposedly extinct creatures of the Ice Age really all die out? Mysteries from the Files of Arthur C. Clarke, author of 2001 and inventor of the communication satellite. Now in Sri Lanka, after a lifetime of science, space, and writing, he contemplates the mysteries of this and other worlds.
Even in this small island, there are reports of strange animals not yet positively identified. The horned jackal and the devil bird with its hideous strangled shriek. Yet this jungle, even though it stretches as far as the eye can see, is nothing compared with the forests which cover much of Africa and South America. There's room for a whole zoo full of unknown animals there. And looking at this, I'm reminded of a riddle posed by an old philosopher. What is the most cunning of all the animals? That which no man has yet seen.
In downtown Chicago, the university's professor of biology on a shopping expedition.
Oh, what is all of this you have?
Well, a jungle machete, a jungle hammock, some medical supplies for the tropics, and a backpack.
Where are you off to with it?
Well, you may not believe this, we're off to Africa to look for dinosaurs.
For it's in the Congo that Professor Roy Mackle and his colleague, explorer James Powell, really believe, from many reports, that there may exist a living dinosaur, or something like it.
The animal is described as being as big as an elephant, or at least as big as a hippopotamus. It has a long head and neck and a long tail. It has feet that are like a hippopotamus, but it has 3 claws on each of these feet. Every kind of animal that we can think of that is alive today doesn't fit this picture. The closest it comes to, and amazing as this may seem, is a dinosaur that is extinct perhaps 65 to 70 million years.
It does have an almost perfect resemblance to certain types of dinosaurs, particularly the 3-clawed footprint. That's almost the trademark of certain long-necked dinosaurs. What really got me onto this was in 1976, I had a grant from the Explorers Club in New York to study rainforest crocodiles in the Gabon, which is a country immediately to the west of Congo. And since I had read about these reports, I decided to see if I could come across any similar information. So among the Fang tribesmen, I tried a little, you might say, flashcard test. I first of all showed them pictures of 5 animals which are reasonably common in the Gabon jungles. And in each case I would say, can you recognize this animal? What is it? He says, sure, of course, that's an elephant, that's a gorilla, that's a leopard, etc. These things live around here in the jungle. We know them. Then just as a control test, I showed him a picture of a bear. Now there are no bear in Africa so far as we know. And I said, do you know that animal? He said, no, we've never seen this. That animal not live around here. Then, just matter-of-factly, I showed him this. It's a picture of a diplodocus from a children's book on dinosaurs. I said, do you know that animal? And in several different villages representing at least 2 different cultural groups, I would get consistent answers. Yes, that's the Nyamala. We know that animal. It lives back in the deep lakes, deep in the jungles.
Well, the evidence is strong enough that there seems to be some strange animal in this Congo. And if it's a dinosaur, it may be interesting enough for us to leave Chicago, the bright lights, the ghost of Mayor Daley, and go to the Congo.
Thus inspired, Chicago's Congo Expedition 1980 equips itself with the unknown.
Well, since the hammock works, James, I think I'll try on this mosquito hat. It won't keep out any mosquitoes, but let's see if it keeps out the snowflakes today.
Oh, we always try the Parisian origin.
It feels warmer already. I don't feel any snowflakes, so it must work on mosquitoes too. Somehow it doesn't look like the picture, does it?
Well, that may sound a little crazy, and later we'll see what happened to them. But remember that until quite recently, people refused to believe in the mountain gorilla, the okapi, the Komodo dragon. They were all discovered in this century.
Even the panda's a recent arrival.
It was literally pandemonium when San Francisco gave an all-American welcome to a real VIP, a very important panda. Baby Sulin is the first giant panda to be brought to captivity. Now it's tea time with Mrs. Ruth Harkness. During a grueling expedition in China, she found Sulin crying in a hollow tree. But ever seen a happier panda than this?
The okapi was dismissed as a fantasy of the pygmies, the mountain gorilla too, until the first specimens were killed. Who would believe the current stories of a saber-toothed killer loose even now in the Australian bush if we didn't have evidence on film that the ferocious Tasmanian tiger, this is the last one known, was still alive in Hobart Zoo in 1933. Snakes that can swallow a donkey look like Swiss Family Robinson fiction, except we do have eyewitnesses and even photographs. This giant anaconda was killed on the Amazon. According to a Rio paper, it was 130 feet long. This one was dispatched on the banks of the Mogiachu River in the interior of Brazil. When this snake, allegedly 115 feet in length, emerged from the river Oyapock, the militia were called out to machine gun it. But it was in Africa, the Congo, that an undoubtedly monstrous specimen appeared to confront this Belgian helicopter pilot, Remy van Leerde, as he returned from a mission in 1959.
So as we had a camera on board, I decided to make several passes over the hole where the snake was in able to let the man take a picture of it. And I made certainly between 4 and 6 passes right over the hole where the snake was in. By then I was already flying for 25 years, so I have a very good experience of measuring things. And I would say the snake I saw there was close to 50 foot, close to 50 feet. I don't know, you say 50 foot or 50 feet, but very close to certainly.